Boy, this chapter 7, promoting positive socialization, be kind, is just really great. Chapter 7 of Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual. And in this book, we talk about socialization and kids. And there's a big section in here on teens and friendships, setting boundaries with teens, and teen drama, being the bad guy. So I want to dip into a few things here for us to talk about. And I'm just going to paraphrase some of this because there's a lot in here for you to go back in and read. Again, my book is available on Amazon, so you can always check it out there. If you type in my name, Tanya Farron, all of my books come up. But teens and friends. And so, when you have kids that come over to your house, it's important for you to make sure that they understand your expectations, your rules, your boundaries that you have in your home, and that you expect them to respect that. So my home was always, flooded, it seemed like, with kids and teens and things like that. And while we respected their privacy and their time together, we also wanted to get to know these kids that were hanging out with our children. And so I'll read you just a little bit. This is a little bit section on teens and friendship. And when you're talking to their friends. So when you're talking to their friends, you don't have to pry, rather genuinely express interest in their lives. For instance, you might ask, "What did you do at school today? What do you like to do in your free time? What is your family like?" And the one that I never put in this book, and I wished I would have, is I always ask them, "Tell me what's going on in your world." That just opens the whole door, right? You'll learn so much about the kids that are coming to hang out with your children by just asking them a few questions that are open-ended, and you'll learn about them. Teenagers really do want people to know about their lives, and it is important to build relationships with these children because oftentimes one of the friends that your child hangs out with is going to need some support. And I truly enjoyed getting to know many of my children's friends, and I always encouraged them to come to our house, that it was a place that they could hang out. However, I did have to set some boundaries, so I'm going to talk to you about that. So sometimes we have to have some difficult conversations, and I've had to set boundaries at my home with my kids and their friends. And they knew that there were rules in my house. If you followed the rules, things would be great. If you did not follow the rules, we would have a conversation about it. I would openly discuss a rule that was broken and repeat my expectations. Sometimes that friend did not return because they did not like that I was open about my expectations. Most of the time they were good with it. And I think it made them feel more like part of our family being reminded of the expectation in our house. And when children are held accountable for their actions, they will adhere to the expectation. I would say 9 out of 10 times my daughter's friends followed my expectations and respected my rules. My house was filled with kids because they needed a place to hang out together, and I loved having them there. So while I enjoyed talking to them, I did find a balance of, we wanted to chat with them for a little bit, but then we wanted to give them some time to be kids and hang out together and do their own thing. So just continue to get to know your kids' friends, especially as teens, understand what their lives are like, what are they doing, and really create a space for them to be able to hang out, but that they are following your rules. One of the things I didn't put in here, I think I put it in at dinner time, is we have a rule of no phones at the dinner table, which still exists today. And the kids knew that. If they were going to come and stay for dinner and hang out with us, they knew that they couldn't have their phones at the table, and they were fine with it. Nobody argued it. No one tried to sneak it. No one did anything. They wanted to truly be there, and they wanted to respect it. So do not hesitate with setting boundaries, expectations, and rules around friendships with your children. It will teach your children how to set boundaries and expectations of how they want to be treated as a friend also, which we'll get into that friendship and what does a good friend look like in the next video. So check it out. Stick with me. Thank you for letting me be a part of your parenting journey. You can also check out my podcast, Parent to Parent Talks, on Spotify, and dig into YouTube for more videos.